All right, today we're diving headfirst into one of the biggest, most fundamental mysteries there is time itself. And we're going to explore this really wild idea called the architecture of the eternal now.
So let's just start with a question that's going to shake everything up a little bit. What if time doesn't actually exist?
Or, at the very least, what if it doesn't exist in that simple, straightforward way we all think it does? That ticking clock on the wall, it could all just be a really, really convincing illusion. I mean, this is how we live our lives, right? The past is behind us, the future is ahead, and we're stuck right here in the present. It feels, well, it feels real. It feels absolute. But what if that whole experience is just a story? A narrative that our brain constructs just to make sense of everything around us? Because honestly, when you start to look at the actual physics of it, that simple story, it completely falls apart. And our first stop on this whole journey has to be with the guy who first completely shattered our old ideas about time, Albert Einstein. So on the left, you see what we feel every day, time as this straight, unchanging line for everybody. But on the right, that's Einstein's reality. Time is more like a piece of fabric. It's flexible, it can be stretched, it can be bent, it can be warped. And this is not just a cool theory, okay? This is real. If you hopped on a rocket and flew near the speed of light, you would actually age slower than everyone back here on Earth. They call it time dilation, and we've actually measured it. It's been proven with super precise atomic clocks. It is a fact. But it's not just speed that messes with time. Gravity does it too. The stronger the gravity, the slower time ticks by. And get this, your head is aging just a tiny, tiny bit faster than your feet are right now, just because it's a little farther away from the Earth's gravity. Wild, right? Now, let's take that to the absolute extreme. If you got close to a black hole, where gravity is just crushing, time would slow down to an almost complete stop. So that raises a huge question. If time is running at different speeds all over the universe, which one is the real time? And the answer, which is kind of creepy, is maybe none of them are. And that leads us to an even weirder, more profound idea that comes straight out of relativity. It's called the block universe theory. Okay, so what this theory says is that every single moment from the Big Bang all the way to the end of time already exists. It's all out there at once. The past isn't gone, the future isn't some mystery, it's all part of this one giant, unchanging, four-dimensional block of spacetime. And this quote just nails it. It's like our consciousness is just a character moving through a story that's already been written, from page one to the end. Your life isn't so much unfolding as it is just being revealed to you moment by moment. And the implications that has for free will are just staggering to think about. But hey, just when you think you've kind of wrapped your head around that, the totally bizarre world of quantum mechanics shows up to make things even more complicated. This right here is a total bombshell. When physicists look at the tiniest, most fundamental pieces of reality, time just seems to vanish from the equations. There's this one famous equation, the Wheeler-DeWitt equation, that tries to combine Einstein's ideas with quantum mechanics, and it doesn't even have a variable for time in it. Time just isn't there. So what in the world does that mean? Well, it suggests that time might be what's called an emergent property. Think about temperature, right? A single atom can't be hot or cold. Temperature only emerges when you get a whole bunch of atoms moving around together. Some physicists think time might be just like that. Not a fundamental part of the universe, but something that just sort of pops into existence from deeper quantum stuff. Okay, so if time is flexible or fixed, or maybe not even real at all, then why do we all feel it pushing forward all the time? Why can we remember yesterday but not tomorrow? So the best explanation we have is something called entropy. It's basically the rule that the universe tends to move from order to disorder. You can drop a glass and watch it shatter into a million pieces, but you'll never, ever see those pieces just leap back together to form a glass again. That one-way street, from neat to messy, is what we experience as time moving forward. But, and this is the really bizarre part, at the most fundamental level, the laws of physics don't care about which way time is going. The math that describes how a particle moves works perfectly fine, forwards or backwards. So that arrow of time we all feel, it's not some ironclad law, it's really just a statistical probability.
So physics has given us a time that's flexible, a time that's fixed, and maybe even no time at all. How do we make sense of that? Well, the final piece of this puzzle might not be out there in the cosmos, but in here, inside our own minds. Okay, so let's try to pull all this together. We've got Einstein's relativity telling us that time is totally flexible. It's relative.
And then we've got the block universe telling us that all of time is already laid out, totally fixed and unchangeable. So if the laws of physics are telling us that time is both of these things, and maybe isn't even a fundamental thing to begin with, then what in the world is this present moment we're all feeling? What and where is now? The final, truly mind-blowing conclusion that some scientists are reaching is this. The now that you're feeling, it doesn't exist out there in the universe. The present moment is a creation of your mind. It's the filter that your consciousness uses to assemble reality, putting all the moments together to create the feeling that time is flowing.
And that leaves us with this one final, really profound thought. Maybe time isn't flowing at all. Maybe the universe doesn't have a clock. And if that's true, then the feeling you have right now, that this very moment is slipping away and will soon be gone forever, might just be the biggest illusion of them all.